Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I wanted to talk about my favorite spinnerbait colors, and this is going to apply for a wide range of seasons all throughout the year, because most of the time when I'm throwing a spinnerbait, I'm trying to imitate a small ball of shad or some other type of similar bait fish. And so we're mostly going to be using shad related or shad type patterns when I'm throwing a spinnerbait. I break this rule a lot with different situations, like going down to Florida or something where I'm fishing around grass and a lot of bluegill. I might switch to a different color, something that has a lot of, maybe green pumpkin or watermelon, those type of shades that imitate bluegill or even golden shiners or something like that. But these right here are four of my absolute go-tos when it comes to the bulk of my spinnerbait fishing. And I have to mention right off the bat, number one, you're going to be able to find these on 44tackle.com. I'm going to put a link in the description below. At least I'm pretty sure they've got them at the store right now. But I'm going to put a link below if they've got them on the website. And if you use that link to buy these sling blades, these Z-Man sling blades, you actually get 10% off of your order. So make sure to check out that link below. So anyways, let's dive right into it. Let's start off with a couple of, a few of really clear water colors. So a lot of my spinnerbait fishing nowadays, when I first started fishing, a spinnerbait was great for muddy water. It still is, but that's when I used a spinnerbait the most, was dirty, shallow water, fishing around, bushes and reeds and things like that, even grass lines, and so I used a lot more bold, opaque colors, which I still use a lot of that, but the whole idea was I was fishing around, dirtier water and shallower water. Nowadays, chatterbaits really took up that general category of situation. I use my jackhammer chatterbaits and other chatterbaits in shallow water the majority of the time. It's hard for me to pick up any other bait other than a chatterbait to fit that need. But spinnerbaits have kind of blossomed into this different need, which is more suspended fish in clearer water. So like if I'm fishing lakes like Dale Hollow, Lake Cumberland, or any of those steep, clearer lakes, the spinnerbait is like the original, Alabama rig. It really imitates a ball of bait fish really good, a little school of shad, and it does really good at catching those suspended fish, surprisingly well. I remember the tournament, the Toyota Series at Dale Hollow this year. My goodness, man, I totally didn't even think about throwing a spinnerbait. The end of the first day, I didn't have a fish in the boat, and I ended up catching the only two fish that I caught during that day. It was not a good tournament for me, but ended up catching two like in the last 30 minutes, and the light bulb went off, and the next morning I picked up a spinnerbait and slow rolled it around these steeper bluffs that have these laydowns on them, and I caught a limit of fish before the last boat had passed during blast off. And so a spinnerbait is really, really super effective. So let's dive right into it. So clearer water, when I'm trying to target those more suspended fish, maybe slow rolling, I've got three different colors here that I think are really, really good. So first one right here, this is called Mouse Rat. This is a color that Z-Man coined. Mouse Rat is kind of like, it's got this smoky gray transparent skirt material, and it's got kind of a scale pattern on the top. So you've got a little bit of scale pattern skirt material, and then you've got a little bit of that smoky gray below it. This is a really good one in super, super clear water. So like this one just looks like so natural in the water. So when the fish are really, really skeptical of a lure and it's super clear, maybe it's sunny skies, Mouse rat is one of my favorite ultra clear water baits, unless I'm fishing for smallmouth. This is, you know, we're talking primarily, you know, largemouth or spots with this. But, you know, mouse rat is a really good one for really clear water. The next one is another bait that I reach for clear water. I usually go for mouse rat first if it's like real super clear, and then this one right here is called clear water shad, and it is just that, man. It is a great clear water shad imitation. It's got a little bit more, you know, kind of a pearl iridescent blue skirt on the bottom, and then you've got that gray skirt on the top. So you got that counter shading that's really important. And overall, you know, this color is just a perfect shad imitation if the water's, you know, clear. It doesn't have to be ultra clear, but if it's clear, this is a really good color, and one that I reach for the majority of the time that I'm fishing, you know, even, you know, mildly clear water, because I think it's just got so much good, you know, natural shad coloration to it. So the next one, you know, once you, even if you're getting into, it could still be clear water, but primarily when it starts getting into the little bit more stained realm, where it's got maybe that post-rain stain to it, but you're on the main lake, so you're not in the back of a creek where it's super muddy, but you're on the main lake, but it's got that like post-rain early season stain to it. So this right here is called Spot Remover, and it's also really good for smallmouth and spots all year round in a lot of different conditions. Spot Remover, it's got a little bit of this kind of transparent chartreuse skirt material, and then you've got a shad or scale pattern, you know, pearlescent material on the top. So it's not like in your face chartreuse and white. It's like the perfect blend. So a lot of fish that are triggered by a little bit of chartreuse accent, which is very common this time of year, really, you know, are attracted to this bait, but it's not overpowering. So you can use it in clear water. I like to use it in that slightly stained water. Like I said, you know, when you get that rain, you know, during the early season, this is a really good one for that situation. But again, if you're fishing for spots, this actually may be the only color you want to throw in any sort of clear water. All right. Finally, let's talk about a little bit dirtier water. When you get into those areas that have a pretty good stain to them, you want to do something that has a little bit more of an opaque coloration, a little bit brighter pattern that allows that fish to really distinguish it in those low visibility situations. And white and chartreuse, which is called Chartreuse Pearl with the Z-Man sling blades. This is a really good choice. And usually I'm gonna be throwing this, because I'm throwing it in dirtier water, I like to throw it with a lead Colorado blade and willow leaf combination, because you get a little bit more vibration, you get a little bit more lift. This is still my favorite color if I'm throwing it in shallower water overall. So shallow, dirty water, the Chartreuse Pearl is probably my biggest go-to. Again, all of these colors are really shad related patterns. They're really good for imitating those shads. So if the fish are focused on shad, and you want something that can cover a lot of water and also be worked extremely slow on steeper banks, a spinnerbait might be the right choice, and these may be the right colors. So let me know what you think. Let me know if you'd add any colors to this list. Obviously, I've got a box full of different colors of sling blades and to pretty much cover any situation. So these are just my 4 favorite, but you gotta experiment, you gotta try different things. So drop a comment below, let me know what you think. I'm gonna see you guys out on the water. Make sure you like, share, subscribe.